You ever heard of Tony Robbins? He's that motivational speaker. That guy's been kicking butt since I was a kid, like 40 years. And a lot of people are cynical with Tony Robbins. Oh, come on, rah, rah, rah. Folks, you do not last 40 years. He's more powerful today than he's ever been. It's all about, with Tony Robbins, the buy-in. He stands on a stage, 6,000 people. I'm going to change your life. And for some, he does. Also deals with CEOs, rock stars, the greatest athletes in the world. Tony Robbins is all about buy-in, and a lot of people are cynical of buy-in. Tom Brady is the sports version of Tony Robbins. He is the best player on an 18-year dynasty, and he has convinced everybody in New England that nobody likes us, nobody believes in us, nobody thinks we can win, which sounds absurd on its face. And Tony Robbins yelling, screaming on stage, changing your life, similarly sounds ridiculous. But when the star can sell it, buy-in is an incredibly powerful tool. Did you see that game, Kansas City? There's now footage of Edelman screaming at Brady. He has got everybody on this team believing nobody believes in us. You're too old. Tom's got everybody buying in, like Tony Robbins has for 40 years. And you can be cynical, but it's powerful. Think about this. When you become a legend, you're not only battling rivals, you're kind of battling yourself. You got the money, you got the trophies, you got the supermodel wife, you have the legacy. And it's really hard. Your opponents aren't hard. Beating you, the psychology of it's hard. Let's think about this. Tiger Woods became a legend. He couldn't handle it. He went off the rails. Women, money, gambling. Tiger Woods couldn't handle it. Michael Jordan had to retire. Not to go to the NFL, to play minor league baseball. Michael's like, it's too much. I gotta retire. Conor McGregor, complete meltdown. Lance Armstrong tried to ruin everybody's life in cycling. Forget a psychopath. He was a cyclopath. LeBron James tends to move his family and just exit. That's how he copes. Tom Brady stays put, reinvents. Nobody believes in us. That's as impressive as it gets. Kevin Durant has won back-to-back titles with the Warriors. I'm reading a story this morning. He's already restless. Kevin Durant's not struggling with opponents now. They'll win the third straight championship. Kevin Durant's struggling with Kevin Durant. That's why he's on Twitter and Instagram and burner accounts. He's struggling with Kevin Durant. This happens in and out of sports. Elvis was the biggest star in America. He became Fat Elvis, drugs Elvis. Michael Jackson got weird. Bill Clinton, most powerful political figure in the world, Monica. Mike Tyson, personal demons. Similarly, Whitney Houston. It's hard because once you become an iconic American sports, entertainment, political icon, you're not just battling others. Kevin Durant, beating teams isn't hard. Staying disciplined, staying present, staying in the moment, convincing yourself is really, really difficult. Tiger couldn't handle it. MJ needed a break. Clinton couldn't handle it. Elvis couldn't handle it. Lance Armstrong couldn't handle it. They had everything. The money, the trophies, the fawning, the legacy, the women, the wives, the girlfriend. They had all of it. And here's Tom Brady. 41, 9th Super Bowl, $800 million net worth, supermodel wife. And he's going nowhere. And he has convinced himself. He is so strong emotionally. He has convinced himself, nobody believes in me. Nobody believes in us. And buy-in is an incredibly powerful thing. You can be cynical at Tony Robbins and you can be cynical of Brady. But in both instances, It works. If you were thinking about retirement, now I know a lot of you are watching me, you're 18, you're 28, you're 38, you're 48, you're not talking about retirement. But if you're 55, 65 years old and watching me and you're thinking about retirement, generally the thing that gets you out the door faster is the job's harder. If the job's easier, you'll stick around for a couple of years. I mean, at this job, I'll do this job for a long time as long as they'll keep me. But if it gets to a point where we're cutting back on staffing and there's more demands, that's when you're like, yeah, I've done my stuff. I'm going to go hang out at the beach. Just think about this between Brady and Brees. Tom Brady's in a division with Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, and Ryan Tannehill. That's an easier division to win games than facing Cam Newton twice, Matt Ryan twice, and by the way, Jameis Winston with Bruce Arians, that's going to be the best Jameis Winston. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it's going to be the best Jameis Winston. Advantage Brady. It's easier. How about this? Brady and New England have 12 draft picks. They could return all 5 offensive linemen, guaranteed 4. They're fairly young. He gets great protection. The team is getting younger. Gronk's retiring. They'll have cap space. Or Drew Brees. They have no cap space. They don't have a first, a third, or a fourth round pick. They gave them all up. They were all in this year. Good luck improving. Here's another thing. Brees looked very tired at the end of the year. Last 6 games, 7 touchdowns, 5 picks. Tom Brady's best game of the year, I thought it was against the Chargers. And he was damn good against Kansas City late. Think about this. The Saints the last 2 years, their season has ended on a wildly emotional loss. The controversy against the Rams, that inexplicable loss to the Vikings. It is hard to overcome bizarrely strange emotional losses. The last 3 years, there have been 12 teams that have made the conference championships, AFC, NFC. Half did not make the playoffs the following year. Saints, no cap space, no first, third, fourth. Brees looked tired at the end of the year. Emotional losses last 2 years. Tougher division. When you're talking about retirement, the easier your life is, the easier your job is, the younger the teammates. I think Brady, I can see himself talking himself in saying, we got 12 new draft picks. I'm around a bunch of young guys. As long as the offensive line's set for Brady, he tends to be a happy camper. As long as he's not taking hits, he's a happy camper. I think Brady is sticking around longer than Brees. I think the last 2 years for the Saints, those emotional losses, I don't know how many of those you can withstand. I do not know how many. The 2 toughest losses in the NFL the last 2 years, both been to the Saints. Those are brutal beatdowns. That loss to the Vikings and that loss to the Rams. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.